My number one goal is to move out of my parents' house. Vagina. It's important for me not to limit myself.
Baylen Dupree had always been different. Growing up in the small town of Harper's Ferry, West Virginia, she was used to the curious glances and whispered conversations that followed her every move. Her tics, which began subtly in childhood, had become more pronounced as she entered her teenage years. By the time she was 17, they were impossible to ignore. Diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome at 18, Baylen found herself navigating a world that often misunderstood her condition. The COVID-19 pandemic had exacerbated her symptoms, leading to isolation and depression. But Baylen was determined not to let her condition define her. She turned to social media, sharing her experiences with Tourette's in candid videos. To her surprise, the response was overwhelming. Millions of people reached out, offering support and sharing their own stories. Baylen realized she wasn't alone. With her newfound platform, Baylen's TikTok following soared to over 10 million. She became a beacon of hope for those living with similar conditions, showing them that it was possible to live a fulfilling life despite the challenges. Her videos were a mix of humor, raw honesty, and educational content about Tourette's syndrome. But fame came with its own set of challenges. Baylen faced online trolls and misconceptions about her condition. People often mimicked her tics or made light of her struggles. It was disheartening, but Baylen refused to let the negativity overshadow her mission. She continued to educate, to advocate, and most importantly, to be herself. In late 2024, Baylen received an unexpected offer. TLC, the network known for showcasing unique and inspiring stories, wanted to turn her life into a reality TV series. Baylen Out Loud would follow her journey as she navigated life with Tourette's syndrome, highlighting both the challenges and triumphs. The decision wasn't easy. Baylen had always been private about certain aspects of her life. But she realized that this was another opportunity to raise awareness and break down the stigma surrounding her condition. She agreed, and production began in early 2025. Baylen Out Loud premiered on January 13, 2025, and quickly became a hit. The series offered an authentic look into Baylen's life, featuring her family, her boyfriend Colin Dooley, and her everyday experiences living with Tourette's syndrome. It was a raw and unfiltered portrayal that resonated with viewers. Each episode delved into different aspects of Baylen's life. From attending TicCon, a convention for people with tic disorders, to navigating relationships and striving for independence, the show showcased her resilience and determination. It wasn't just about living with Tourette's, it was about living fully and unapologetically. Despite the success of the show, Baylen faced numerous challenges. The pressure of being in the public eye was immense. There were days when the tics were overwhelming, when the stares and comments from strangers felt unbearable. But Baylen had learned to cope. She leaned on her family, her friends, and her faith. One of the most poignant moments came when Baylen and Colin got engaged. It was a beautiful proposal, filled with love and emotion. But it also highlighted the complexities of their relationship. Colin had been a constant source of support, but as Baylen took steps toward independence, they both had to navigate the evolving dynamics of their partnership. As Baylen Out Loud garnered millions of viewers, it sparked important conversations about disability, representation, and acceptance. Baylen became a spokesperson for those living with Tourette's syndrome, advocating for better understanding and support. The success of the show led to its renewal for a second season. Baylen was excited but also apprehensive. She knew that the journey ahead would be filled with challenges, but she was ready. With Colin by her side, her family supporting her, and her community cheering her on, Baylen was determined to continue her mission. Baylen's journey was far from over. She had transformed from a young woman struggling with a misunderstood condition into a powerful voice for change. Through her authenticity, humor, and courage, she had shown the world that living with Tourette's syndrome was just one part of who she was. Her story inspired countless individuals to embrace their differences and to live boldly. Baylen had started by sharing her truth online. Now, she was doing it on a global stage. And in doing so, she was changing the narrative, one tick at a time.